This year's videos are sponsored by Rothman Orthopedic Institute. And this year in Atlantic City, a historic moment for not just girls wrestling, but wrestling in general. We're going to be crowning the first ever girls state champions in New Jersey wrestling history. 60 girls, 10 champions, and Pat, let's start in the north and let's look at some of these girls who will make a name for themselves in Atlantic City.
I think two girls up north really separated themselves and have been on the scene for so long, so experienced. They've wrestled in national competitions. They're All-Americans. The first girl that comes to mind is Sydney Petzinger from Parsippany. She's at 100 pounds. She was a Fargo All-American this summer and is just really quick, athletic, does it all down there in the lower weights. Up top, you got a really strong girl, experienced, and guess what? She comes from Petersburg. You know that, you know what that means. So that girl is Jewel Gonzalez at 161 pounds. And just so you know, Phillipsburg's only had one state champion in the last 22 years, but Gonzalez is a girl that's probably going to change that up a little bit.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch the girls' regions in Red Bank myself. They're divided in the North region and the South region. Bill, we talked about the North. How about some of the girls in the South?
Yeah, you know, the number one girl maybe in the whole tournament coming in to the regions is Jessie Johnson from Nalpin. She was fourth in Fargo this year. It's a 136-pounder, but she got pinned in the semifinal by America Garay of Manasquan. She did wrestle back to take third, and there will be a rematch in the quarterfinals that we'll see. You know, Johnson's obviously going to want to atone for that loss. You know, we saw that one thing that was cool that we saw in the regions was, you know, some upsets. You know, Kayla Gregory at the 127-pounder from Jackson was down 11-3 in the last minute and came back and got a pin. So, you know, I think when we go to AC, we're going to see some definitely chance for some upsets. A couple other girls to look for: Williamstown Paige Colucci, 147. She pinned her way through to the South bracket, and Chloe Ayers, the 105-pounder from Princeton. She was the most outstanding wrestler in the South. Her father, Chris Ayers, is the Princeton University head coach. Her mother, Lori, is on the seating committee. They both helped drive this state tournament, so it'd be a nice story if she could kind of win it. And you know, she's definitely one of the favorites.
Now, Joe, we can't talk about this enough. This is an historic moment for wrestling and for high school sports in the state of New Jersey.
Well, Mike, I've been covering high school wrestling for 41 years, and I'm looking forward to this as much as I have as anything in those 40 years. It's historic, it's different, and you know, I think the entire state wrestling community is watching this. I think fans of the boys are going to stay and just take it in and see what it's all about, not just the fans of the girls. And you know what? It's only going to get bigger. You know, there were 400 and some girls wrestling this year. That number could double a year from now. That's how much they think it's going to catch on, because there's been so much interest. And what I found interesting, I was talking to Norwegian coach Kevin English the other day, and he said to me, he goes, "Do you know what's going to save boys wrestling?" And I said, "No, coach, what?" He goes, "Girls wrestling is." That's how much and how important this tournament is to New Jersey wrestling, period.
This Saturday in Atlantic City, we're going to crown our first girls state champions, 10 of them. That wraps up our preview of the girls state wrestling championships. Keep it locked on NJ.com/HSWrestling. We'll have live video from all 3 days at Boardwalk Hall, every round of the boys and girls tournaments, plus results, brackets, photos, and more.